listening to The Motherhood Experience, a podcast where you are part of the conversation with moms, for moms, and by moms. Let's jump into this episode with me, your host, Val Kleppen. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Motherhood Experience podcast. So glad to have you joining me today. A few weeks ago, I posted a poll on social media. I told you that I had come across my archive of columns that I had written and submitted for the newspaper when I used to live in North Dakota. They were all about parenting during those seasons of my life. I asked, would you like an episode or a few episodes of me reading them? And to my surprise, honestly, the answer was yes. So this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to read some of these. I will be upfront with you. If you're watching the video, I'm about to show you the stack. This is it's not insignificant stack of columns and articles that I submitted over time. I have them dated at the top. I have not read through these, so I don't know what I'm about to read you. I remember writing stuff and I remember submitting it. This first one here is from January of 2015, so we're talking 10 years ago. I imagine I'm going to be cringing at myself for a lot of this. I also know this was very early on in our grief journey after Harlan passed away. So I imagine I know that there will be articles about that. And I have no idea. I know that in 10 years, my perspective has shifted. My views have shifted. I have grown a lot. Let's just all remember this right now. Val has grown a lot in 10 years. So I don't know what I'm getting into here is what I'm saying. But these are what I wrote. This was in the thick of it. 2015, January of 2015. Let's see. Little Miss would have been 4, almost 5. And little man would have been not even a year old. He would have been maybe 9 months, 8 months, something like that. So here we go with the first, I'll just read until my voice gives out maybe. That being said, a special shout out to Holly, because she specifically said, I love your writing and I would love to hear it read in your own voice. So this one's for you, Holly. And if it stinks, well, it's going to stink. So here we go. January 2015. Christmas is over, the decorations are put away, and the movie Frozen continues to reign supreme in our home. Little Miss got 3, count them, 3 microphones for Christmas, in which to belt out her best rendition of Let It Go or Twinkle Twinkle, whichever strikes her fancy. The new year is here, yet life as we know it continues on with barely a hint of new beginnings. Rather than make a list of everything I want to do differently, this year I resolved to do more of the same. Snuggling as long as my daughter will let me, making up bedtime stories that sneak in powerful life lessons, forbidding Caillou to be seen or heard in our home. Oh dear. I plan to work on little man's hearing issues and meet with the myriad of people placed in our lives to help us help him. I plan to section off parts of our home as his curiosity and mobility gain the upper hand. I resolve to continue to rock him to sleep as long as my lap will hold him. I resolve to keep mental notes of the sweet bedtime prayers little Miss utters each night. I've learned over time, a new year doesn't have to mean a new me. There are so many components of life worth keeping consistent. Change is inevitable and even a good thing at times, but I've realized it will happen on its own. I don't have to force it or plan it or even convince it to occur. While change is the undercurrent of everything around us, I've begun to embrace the as is. As 2015 gets underway, I'll hold on to doing what works. Nap time will still be after lunch. Lunches will probably still be PB&J sandwiches, compromising on including the crust. I'll still carry a spare burp cloth to catch those gnarly strings of little man's drool. I'll still relish in how much he enjoys playing pat-a-cake, and I'll still encourage his sister to ribbit like a frog to get him to giggle. I'll still be the best mom these kids know and simultaneously feel like I'm somehow failing them in any given area of my parenting. Sure, I'll try to figure out how to stream those workout videos once or twice. I'll model health and wellness as I exercise alongside the neatly folded piles of laundry. I'll plan a menu, use my cash envelopes for budgeting, and read more Bible stories to the kids. I'll listen to classical music as I dust and mop, and I'll take my vitamins every morning until I don't. This year, the change I'll hold fast to is not making myself out to be a failure when I don't hold up my end of any self-imposed dramatic change resolutions. If our home is filled with love, laughter, and transparency, what difference does it make how many times I've done a downward dog for the week? This year, I resolved to keep spending time in impromptu tickle wars. I resolved to not swear out loud when I step on a stray Lego. I resolved to keep nap time alive and well. I resolved to keep playing Chutes and Ladders, even though it is the longest game in the history of the world. Oh, that's so true. I resolved to embrace each and every moment I have with my kids, with my husband, as we know all too well how quickly life can change. I resolved to keep Harlan, though she isn't with us this side of heaven, an active part of her siblings' lives, of all our lives. This year, I resolved to let life happen as it will. There will be spit up, there will be tears, there will be knee scrapes and dirty diapers. There will be messes and spills and big sighs and dramatic eye rolls. There will be life as we've known it, and there will be surprises and new challenges. My goal is to endure, enjoy, and embrace it all. Right now, I'm my kids' hero. I heal their hurts, hug their fears away, and make French toast on Saturdays. This year will be the year I start to appreciate my mothering as much as they do. This year is the year I live free of guilt and full of gratitude. Oh, that one wasn't so bad. And I made myself laugh twice. Okay, oh dear. I turned the page. So this one is from February of 2015, so the very next month. And I have a note written on here that says, this is the one, the feedback I got said it was meh. Oh dear. Okay. And I don't think it's not until like much, much later, maybe not until the following year, okay, that I sent suggested titles. So I don't know what these were called or anything. I'm flying blind here with you. Here we go. I work from home, which is a pretty sweet gig. There is a difficult element, however, in trying to balance time with the kids, time working, and time keeping up the house. Some days are better than others. Those other days can be pretty brutal. Little man is in a new stage, pulling himself up on everything. Crib, stairs, car seat, my leg. He wants to be in on the action, no matter what it might be, and is willing to sacrifice steady balance to obtain it. Once he pulls himself up, however, his only exit strategy is to let gravity do its thing. There is no grace involved as he tumbles to the floor. My cat-like reflexes have been put to the test multiple times a day in catching him. He also does this cute little thing where he does raspberries with his tongue. This is all entirely adorable until I stick a spoonful of food in his mouth and he decides that is the most opportune time to show me his spittle skills. I sometimes end up wearing more food than he does. Nothing makes me feel more attractive than smelling. Oh dear. Nothing makes me feel more attractive than smelling of pureed squash and slobber. Little man eats like a grown lion. If we don't go through 3 or 4 servings of food in one sitting, it's not a normal day. I'll just pause right here and interject. That has not changed in 10 years. Okay, on with the column. Lately, he's also been boycotting naps. He'll sleep for 10 minutes or so before he does a number of the second nature in his pants and wakes himself up. How could this be meh? This might be my favorite one. All right, where was I? Those short power naps are a real downer for mommy morale. While trying to change his diaper, he likes to practice his alligator death roll. Wrestling was never a favorite sport of mine to watch, but I feel like I would have had the upper hand in diaper changing had I paid a little more attention to it in high school. Little Miss is one of the most talkative people I've ever met. Okay, I'm also interjecting here that that has also not changed in 10 years. This is saying a lot because I know how much I talk myself. I don't hold a candle to her. I get a play by play of everything, what she's doing, what she wants to do, what she thinks we should play, and an exact script of how we should play it. I hear every single word of it. If I laugh at something one time and don't laugh at it the second, she will say, "Mama, I did it again. Laugh." She also loves to snuggle, which is a definite plus. I'm still not sure why she insists on snuggling while eating, though. No serving of mac and cheese can be eaten in its entirety unless we've taken several hug or snuggle breaks. Oh, I kind of remember that. There isn't much I love more than snuggling with my kids, but sometimes I like to eat my food while it's hot, and not because there's a blankie draped over it. I know that my attention is the most coveted thing in the world. It must be because I have clients who want my attention, 2 kids, a husband, and even people who still, for whatever reason, consider me their friend. It falls into the supply and demand scheme. My attention is in high demand, but in super limited supply. This does not bode well for a preschool princess who has to share her mama time with a raspberry spitting, diaper messing little strong man. Most of my work for the day ends up being completed after kitty bedtime. I wipe stray sweet potato puree off my computer screen, pull the Velcro bib off the back of my sweater, and wonder how long it's been stuck there, and get to work making clients happy. It's not always easy, not by a long shot. As frustrated as I get sometimes, I just have to laugh. Everything is relatable to a spiritual experience for me. I can just see God saying, "Woman, when will you..." I mean, I don't think 10 years later I could really see him saying that. It would be more like that. But apparently 10 years ago, I can just see God saying, "Woman, when will you stop talking long enough to hear what I have to say?" Or perhaps, if you would just lie still for a second, you could see the great things I have in store for you. I'm not the best mom out there, not even close. The important thing, though, is that my kids think I'm pretty stellar. My husband thinks I'm okay, too. I asked him just now. My clients like me enough to keep paying me. At the end of the day, I'll take my star sticker of success and add it to our reward chart on the fridge. In my daughter's square, of course. That one wasn't so bad. I mean, a little cringe. A little cringe. All right. Well, this one, I can see it's from April of 2015, and I see that it starts off with April 10th, which is Harlan's birthday. I'm going to guess this one is going to be a little weightier. We'll see. I don't know. You're hearing it at the time I'm reading it, so we're going through this together. Still of 2015, April of 2015. How many times am I going to say 2015? Here we go. April 10th marks 2 years since we delivered our precious Harlan after receiving the news her heart was no longer beating. Last year, on what would have been her first birthday, I was in the hospital warding off premature labor with her baby brother. I was drugged up on magnesium and not at all coherent or able to participate in a single event I had so meticulously planned for that day. I not only felt robbed of her existence, but also of the chance to celebrate her. Thus, the pain of her absence was only exacerbated by my continued inability to do anything about it. In those first days after delivering Harlan, we heard so often from so many, "I wish I could take your pain away." At that point, my suffering was the only tangible evidence I had of her existence, and I resented anyone wishing to take it from me. As the life we had imagined with her would never transpire, the intense ache in my heart was all I had to nurture. Even in our faith and trusting God's promises, the ache didn't dull or soften. Simply holding fast to His grace and mercy did not wash away the emptiness of having to part with a child we longed for and cherished so deeply. But oh, how He has carried us. As we approach her birthday this year, I assumed I would once again resent anyone's wish to take my pain away or relieve any suffering. Recently, however, My eyes were opened to a new consideration as we prepare to honor Harlan's all too short life. For 2 years, we built our nonprofit, Harlan's Heart, into a reputable organization designed to help families who suffer this immeasurable loss. We've been so blessed to partner with Dakota Medical Foundation and find champions who not only believe in our mission, but support it wholeheartedly. For 2 years, I've been able to speak openly about our daughter and break the silence around the taboo topic of stillbirth. For 2 years, I've been able to share Harlan with the world. Her life and her death have brought us to a place of hope and healing we could have never imagined. Her influence has touched the lives and hearts of people across the globe. Every time I feel my efforts are fruitless, I receive an email, card, or note expressing the help and encouragement someone's found from something we've shared. Harlan's legacy extends far beyond the branches of our family tree. I've realized while her absence will always weigh so heavily on my heart, the pain of losing her is not the solitary item I've been left to carry. 2 years on in our journey, I find I have far more than aching arms and a broken heart. Some of the strongest relationships I have today came from the dire circumstance we were thrust into. Within a community I previously never knew existed, I found incredible friendships with other bereaved parents. The comfort in knowing we don't walk this road alone is invaluable. While the pain of losing a child is inexplicable, it is not where our story ends, or her purpose. Today, I can see beyond the darkness. There is light, glory, and life, even in death. God gave me such a gift in allowing me to be the only woman in the world who got to be Harlan's mama. I can't imagine that privilege belonging to anyone else. This April 10th, my husband, little miss, little man, and I will celebrate the life that was their sister's for the 37 weeks I carried her. I won't favor anyone taking pain from me should I choose to rest in its familiar grasp, but I won't allow my gratefulness for being Harlan's mom to be overshadowed either. Happy birthday, baby girl. We love you every moment of every day. I really like that. Yeah, I really like that. Hey, thanks everybody for voting yes, because I'm enjoying this. I don't know if you are, but we're committed now. Maybe I'll do, I don't know. We'll see how long it takes me to read this. This one is from June of 2015. It's been said moms wear a lot of hats: nurse, disciplinarian, teacher. Earlier today, I wore a Hello Kitty crown atop my head. My name was Unicorn Rainbow, and I was the sister to a unicorn princess named Rainbow Unicorn. She was the prettiest unicorn in the universe, naturally, and I was left to care for her most important needs, like giving her a high hoof. How did these not go viral? This is amazing writing. Okay, what? Like giving her a high hoof when she did something grand, or being her entertainment when she felt a little unicorned out. It's been one of my better parenting days, a day I feel like I can actually handle this mothering thing. I even took several paper towels, still joined together, and did a ribbon dance in my kitchen, much to the delight of both Little Miss and Little Man. I'm sure it was also to the delight of the neighbor who parked directly in front of our patio door mid-show. Paper towel ribbon dances are a lost art. The rain and gray have been getting to us a little bit. By us, I mean me, and by a little bit, I mean I've been going stir crazy. Having a good parenting day in the midst of uncooperative weather is almost a double win. I found, though, it's rather easy to get caught up in one identity as a mom. A failure, a bad mom, a mom who doesn't know what she's doing. Those are the traits I often identify myself with. But why is that the hat of motherhood I allow myself to wear most often? I can't answer that, really. Parenting is hard. Mothering is hard. It doesn't matter how great your kids are, and mine are pretty swell, or what the weather's doing outside. Parenting is tough work. And for some reason, I feel like I'm failing at it a majority of the time. I think it's time to shift my perspective. Bad moms don't do paper towel ribbon dances in the kitchen. Bad moms don't interrupt their work to take a wrestling timeout in the middle of the floor. Bad moms don't spin in circles until they're beyond dizzy just to get a giggle or two out of a semi-stoic little guy. Bad moms don't sit and snuggle with the unicorn princess who bonked her head and required the special ice pack called the Boo Boo Bunny. Bad moms don't have awesome parenting days. I'm not perfect, not by a long shot. I'm not even an expert. But I'm going to take a stab and say I'm not a bad mom. I'm going to get rid of that hat. Do I get frustrated? Yes. Do I lose my cool? Absolutely. Do I do things as a parent I'm not especially proud of? Daily. Am I a bad mom? Not by a long shot. Does it matter I forgot to do laundry all week? Yes, it kind of does. But does that make me a bad mother to my kids? No. Does it make me a bad wife? Possibly. That's a hat I'll have to evaluate on a different day. When I see little Miss playing with her brother, and when I see how much he adores her, I see a reflection of what I've attempted to instill: love, patience, gentleness, self-control. I see the fruits of the Spirit playing themselves out in my children. When I sit down on the floor and am immediately tackled by two formidable, though small, opponents, I see them embracing the opportunity for fun and spontaneity. When I hear their incessant giggles over something so silly as a kitchen dance party, I see memories in the making. When I wear a Hello Kitty crown and give high hoofs to my unicorn sister, I see a mama who cares enough about her kids to worry if she's doing this mothering thing right. Going forward, I'll still wear many hats, crowns even, as a mom. A good mom. A mom who loves her kids more than sunshine or paper towels. Oh, how arrogant am I that I am loving my writing? I don't even know what's happening. How many was that? That was 4. How many do I have left for 2015? I've got 4 left for 2015. All right. Mamas, that was it. One short, brief episode of me reading through. I mean, this was the January of 2015 was the very first column I ever submitted. It was the very first writing I was ever paid for. Wow. That's exciting to think that 10 years ago, when I thought I would never be a writer, really, and then I was contracted to write for the newspaper every so often, and I got an income from it for every column submitted for 3 years. So thank you for coming on this little journey with me. I mean, it was entertaining for me, obviously. There was a lot more commentary I felt like I wanted to add into, but also I just wanted to get through the reading. So let me know what you think. Provide your own commentary, please. You're welcome to leave a comment, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. And we'll get through some more. The stack is still significant, but I don't want to blow through them all in one fell swoop. If you're a fan of Nate Bargatze, One Fell Swoop. It's a hilarious bit. Look it up. And that's all I've got for you today. Mamas, keep being a good mom. Don't wear the hat of thinking that you're a bad mom. And we'll catch you next week on the Motherhood Experience. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of the Motherhood Experience podcast. To join our exclusive TME community, head over to themotherhoodexperience.com/learn more. Be sure to follow the Motherhood Experience on Instagram, and please leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment below, and we'll catch you next time.